Hello, welcome back to the Esther Effect. My name is Georgia. This is God's channel. I had a revelation today. It's kind of super vulnerable and amazing, but that's why I'm here to share. So today I had a revelation that I was sitting with somebody, with a big group of people, and I started to feel like super attracted to them. And I was like, Lord, what's going on? And it was like kind of out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, Lord. And he was like, well, I actually told you. I was like, Lord, is this what's going on? He's like, no, I told you that this is not your spouse already. We talked about it. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, thank you for the correction, thank you. And then a couple hours later, I was with that person and another group of people, and I felt it again, but even stronger, like way stronger, like intensely strong. And I was like, oh, Lord. And he was like, no, remember, we already talked about this. You are not attracted to that you're attracted to them, but just because you're attracted doesn't mean that they're your spouse. And I was like, that's right. And there's a lot of traits in this person that are actually in the person that you're going to marry, but just because you're attracted to that person does not mean that they're actually the person that you're supposed to marry. And so you can have a lot of feelings, so anyways, I gave the word of knowledge to them. I actually got a word of knowledge that they were going to have a lot of people come to them that look like their wife, smell like their wife, talk like their wife, but are not their wife. So it's so important. You may feel a certain way. This happens a lot of times. Obviously this is outside of marriage, but you may feel a certain way, and you may think that, okay, they have a lot of these traits, all these things, but just because you feel attracted to them, and just because they have a lot of things that are in common with the person that you'll probably be married to, doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be your spouse. And so for me, that was so revolutionary, because a lot of times I feel like a lot of times people get into marriages or relationships in general because they like to dance, or oh yeah, they play basketball, all these things. Well, these traits are probably things that are going to be in your spouse, but just because all of a sudden paired with a feeling of attraction, the enemy can give you feelings and thoughts. So you just have to be aware that if you're feeling something and you're thinking something, it might not be yours, it might be the other person. And also, in my case, this was a word of knowledge. So when I gave it to them, that exact thing, women were coming to them that were very attracted to them, and they have a lot of traits. All of them have a lot of traits of the person that they would like to be married to, but obviously all of them are not the person. And they're feeling very attracted to all of these people. Well, that's very clear, So anyways, it was just so revolutionary for me that the Lord spoke to me that way. And it was just solidifying so many things in my mind, that I have met people throughout my entire life that are very close to the person that I would like to marry. And in fact, they basically have a lot of traits that I would really like to have. But just because they have those things doesn't mean. And I feel like that happens when people are already married, and then they're in the church or outside the church, and then they meet people that are like, whoa, they have a lot of traits that I like. And then they think it's okay to get out of marriage and then get into marriage with somebody else. That's not okay. You chose that person, right? So anyways, this is like when you're single and not even married, but it's so important to remember that just because you feel a certain way and that they have a lot of traits you have to check with the Lord very clearly and ask the Lord and spend time with the Lord to know that this is actually your spouse. So I thought that was really interesting. I hope this helps. Hope this encourages you. About to go into love in action. I hope you have a wonderful night, and feel free to like and comment and subscribe and share with all your friends, because I know you know people that are going through this exact same thing. Because if I am, you are, and that's what the Lord told me, that if I'm going through it, so many people are. So I love you so much. I'm always praying for you, and I'll talk to you soon.